Okay, let's get the show on the road. Thank you for cooperating, Aster. Of course, I understand your position, Mr. Cuthbert. I'm hoping you can shed some light on how Arya came to be under the blood contract in the first place. It's possible Ears tricked you somehow and made you carry out the massacre. There has to be something we're not seeing, despite what the evidence points to. Evidence? You're referring to Celeste's testimony, am I correct? I'm sorry to say this, but... are you sure we can trust her testimony? We can trust her now. She is no longer under the effects of a blood contract, which you claim no longer exists. But only you have the power to manifest them in the first place. What are you getting at? I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert, but I suppose what I mean is, after everything that just happened, how can we trust you? What? You disappeared for quite some time to who knows where. And the only person who was there with you was Celeste and a demon who can clearly alter people's memories. Isn't that a little convenient she was burnt to a crisp almost immediately after you returned? She said it multiple times that didn't actually kill her. And now, you're singling me out as the patron, the one ultimately responsible for the murders of Von Sanctus and Sybil. If that demon made you into her puppet, wouldn't this be exactly what she wanted? That's right. How do we know this Heavensborn can be trusted? We've all heard the stories. He's practically a dissident. For all we know, he could be an agent of the theocracy. You can feel the room turning against you. Even the skilled lord looks wary. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you after everything you've done. But I suppose there's one way to confirm your theory. And what's that? Use your divine edict on me, just like you've done several times before. If I truly was in league with that demon, shouldn't I have a contract with her? It will appear, even if I was made to forget about it. Wait, that's right. We already tried that before and it didn't work. Which means that he definitely doesn't have a contract with her. Why aren't you doing it? I can't. I already tried and nothing appeared. I see. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert. I know you care deeply for her. But we all saw Celeste's blood contract and we heard her earlier confession. Not to mention, we have no way of knowing whether Celeste is truly free from Eris' influence. If Miss Steelman is to be saved, we must all accept what needs to be done. I don't like saying this, but I think it's time this trial came to its conclusion. Don't you, Your Grace? Damn it. He's even got the Scaled Lord on his side. Even if it's against you, he raised a lot of good points. But is he acting with malice, or is he just being careful? Come on, think, Tyrion. We just proved my blood contract wasn't valid. But the one who made Arya commit those murders is still out there. Maybe you've been thinking about this the wrong way. Eris found ways to trick people into signing blood contracts before. So this is just a funny typo. Tyrion Cuthbert the musical coming soon. So she wouldn't necessarily need a blood contract to trick Aster into actively helping her. The question isn't whether Aster knowingly did this or not. The question is... what part of the plan required Aster's physical involvement? That might have left behind evidence that proves it. He needed to trick Arya into signing the contract somehow. But you've seen how she is around him. That wouldn't have been very hard to do. No, Arya may be a lovesick disaster around him, but she's still an attorney. She would be careful to read any contract she signed. We deduced earlier that her blood contract was disguised as a normal legal document. And I remember, when you caught a glimpse of it, you immediately started teasing her. I'm really trying, but I just can't remember what I saw. But if I was teasing her about it, it was probably related to her relationship with Aster. What did Arya think she was signing? I'm sorry, I know that doesn't really narrow it down. No, that's exactly the clue that I needed. Really? So, Arya thought she signed a marriage license. Aster, there is one piece of physical evidence that proves you were involved in this. Really? The patron controlled Arya and committed each of the murders without having to do anything personally. But this was all contingent on tricking her into signing that contract in the first place. I recall that you went to a meeting with the High Speaker right before the massacre started. It was to discuss your marriage to Arya, wasn't it? Yes, that's correct. Aster, the blood contract that Arya signed needed to look like a normal legal document. But I just realized something while reading it. The language used would have made sense under a different context. In that contract, Arya gave you her mind, body, and soul. It would bind her to you so long as you both live. Wait, are you saying... No. In other words, till death do you part.
Objection!
That's a big leap in logic, even for you. Whoever tricked my daughter would have surely destroyed the evidence by now. That demon went out of her way to destroy her memories of signing it. I doubt they would have left any copies of the marriage license to be found. Indeed, bringing such heavy accusations against the High Speaker or the King will require more than just speculation. First he dares to call the King to testify, and now he's trying to indict the High Speaker? He's a traitor to the nation! I have more than just speculation, Your Grace. I have a copy of it. But your Divine Edict only recreates the terms of the blood contract, not the material that it was written on. The original document wouldn't be visible on your copy. That wasn't the copy I was talking about, Aster. What? Don't you wonder how I knew about the blood contract? Every attorney has a magical runestone. They let us take pictures of crime scenes and write down notes magically. Yes, I'm well aware of them. And did you know Arya took a picture of the marriage license she signed? What? She was so happy to finally have your union codified that she took a picture of your marriage license. Even though it was technically illegal to do so. Why would she... The moment she regained consciousness, she thought she was a danger to others. She had no memories of what she did that day, but she knew something was wrong. That's why she locked herself in a prison with an anti-magic field. She was being rightfully cautious. But had she simply left any of those anti-magic fields, that should be plural. Or there's a way to redo this, but they don't have the quantity aligned, I guess. But had she simply left one of those anti-magic fields and checked her runestone, she would have found a picture of a marriage license with the same words as her blood contract. So I'll ask you this, Aster. Who gave that marriage license to her? Was it you or the High Speaker? If you don't want to answer, we can drag the truth out of both of you. Don't bother. No, so it really was you. Tell me, Mr. Cuthbert, do you know what the best kind of lie is? The kind that's hardest to disprove. No, not quite. It's the kind where you won't even try. The best kind of lie is the one you want to believe in. The truth can be right in front of you, but it will make you look away. If I recall correctly, McCoy made you experience that firsthand today. Your Majesty, what are you... I'm done with this farce. I'm sure if we brought the High Speaker to the stand, Cuthbert would just deduce what happened anyways. It was always going to end this way, I suppose. Perhaps I was just lying to myself. You're hot. No. Aster, you whelp. Are you saying that it was you? You used my daughter to commit mass murder? I did, Lucia. What of it? How could you? And what right do you have to judge my actions, O great scaled lord? I was only cleaning up the mess you created. And if it weren't for Ears' little games, I would have done it in a much cleaner manner. Pardon me? No, I think I'll be pardoning myself. You can't be serious. I am the King of Wyrengard, am I not? Is that not my right? You're insane. Tell me, does this terrify you all? To know that I can do whatever I please, with no one who can stop me. Is this not what you've all been doing to the rest of the country? Do you seriously expect to get away with this? I do. Who has the power to stop me? The Scaled Lord? Yes, exactly him. That's why he hosted this trial in the first place. His authority is above yours. I didn't ask who could stop me, Tyrion. I asked who was going to. Fear. Fear? What? Why aren't either of you saying anything? Yes, Rathalion, have me arrested. Put my 7-year-old brother on the throne. I'm sure history will tell you exactly how a kingdom fares when a child sits on the throne. Or would you take the throne for yourself? You spent all those centuries huddled away in this ruined city. I'm certain you know exactly what problems this nation is facing and what it needs to right itself. Rathalion. I'm sorry, Mr. Cuthbert. I came here to do what was best for my people. I may not know the best course before me, but I know with painful certainty that it is not to seize control of this nation. I will not take that responsibility again, nor will I thrust that responsibility onto those who would not have it. Not really surprising. From everything I've seen, negligence has been your one consistent trait. And what about you, Lucio? Are you going to try to depose me? The beloved prince, now king of Wyverngard. Or did you remember, the people of this nation love me and hate you? I hear you're very skilled at arguing, Tyrion, but I doubt even you could make the public see that as anything other than a military coup. Can you imagine? Grand General Lucio deposing the new king of Wyverngard before the previous king's body is even interred? I wonder just how bloody of a civil war that would plunge this nation into. And even if Lucio doesn't have much difficulty crushing the commoners, I'm sure you can imagine just how tempting a weakened Wyverngard would look to other nations. Damn it. By killing Sybil and Von Sanctus, he left a power vacuum that only he could fill. Aster, you're holding the entire kingdom hostage. I am merely consolidating power where it belongs. In the hands of a kind and benevolent ruler who is finally going to fix this nation. You murdered several people, consorted with demons, and enslaved your own fiancée. I'm sure that to you, my actions may seem evil and unforgivable, but to the rest of them in the Wyverngard nobility, I very much doubt I'm even the first to do such a thing. This is just politics. And I think that makes checkmate, Cuthbert. I can't believe it. I've always wanted to say that. What are you all doing? Are you just going to let him get away? Lucio, she's your daughter. Are you just going to let him keep control over her? My daughter would not sacrifice the stability of Wyverngard for her freedom. You know that to be true. That's... He killed so many people, and he enslaved Arya. He almost killed you, and he tried to kill me. Wait a minute, that's right. Why did he try to kill you? What do you mean? If Aster is the patron, that means that Pierce originally sent that letter to him. King de Wyverngard just recently died. What if Celeste was a member of the royal family? That wouldn't entirely make sense. Even if McCoy was of royal blood, Aster is the king's eldest child, and he's of pure royal blood. McCoy would have no claim to the throne under these circumstances. If you were his half-sister, you wouldn't have a claim to the throne. So why would he go to so much trouble to kill Pierce and you? Maybe he just wanted to make sure. But he wouldn't have had Eris kill Pierce personally if it wasn't important. He needed both you and Pierce to die during the massacre. Which means you two were just as important targets as Von Sanctus and Sybil. Okay, but my potential claim to the throne would be the only reason why he'd be scared of me. If that wasn't a problem, why would he be so scared of Pierce's blackmail? Would the line of succession be the only reason why he'd be scared of Celeste's parentage? Recall what you remember about Wyverngard's laws regarding parentage. Wasn't there something someone mentioned about that? I don't remember which part it was. I'm gonna go with Scaled Lord because I believe it's the Slayer law that they're getting at. Nope. Conversation with Eris Ilmater. Despite everything, our kingdom's constitution still includes a Scaled Lord in our government. Wait, really? As the savior of our kingdom, he and his kin were given an honorary position on our political hierarchy. The ancient dragon's authority technically rivals that of the king. I had no idea. How have I never heard of this before? To be honest, that law is just a way to revere him and appease the church. Wait, the Scaled Lord and his kin can override the king's rule. Wait. A flood of memories comes back to you. Celeste McCoy, by the authority of the Wyvern Guard Crown, you're under arrest. Noticing the commotion, 3 other knights rush to grab her and begin dragging her away. She kicks and screams against them, desperately trying to break free. Even between the 3 knights, it's taking all of their strength to subdue her. But I know more than one spell now. I actually just learned a few new spells today. I'm sorry, spells, as in plural? How long did it take you to learn these spells? A few hours, I think. She learned multiple spell formulas within a few hours? So you come from the same humble beginnings that I do. Which spells have you mastered? I haven't really mastered any of them. I know about 7 spells, though. 7? It's almost 4 times the amount that I know. She learned even more spells. She's been picking them up rather quickly. Make no mistake, even in my human form, I have always had the strength of an ancient dragon. This can't be real. What is it, Tyrion? It's absolutely crazy, but it also makes a lot of sense. Her ridiculous strength, her natural talent for learning magic. She inherited all of it from him. Are you okay? You got really pale all of a sudden. Once you reveal this, there's no going back for her. Do you even have any right to do this to her? No, Arya's freedom rides on this. And as much as it pains you, this is the only way to save her and Wyvern Guard. I'm sorry, Celeste. What? Why are you apologizing? What I'm about to do will change your entire life, possibly in a way you don't want it to. It will place an unimaginable responsibility on your shoulders, but it's the only way to save Arya and stop him. So I'm sorry. Please forgive me for doing this. Do you think one little life-changing event could ever change how I feel about you? Are you sure? I owe you and Arya for what I did. But this is... We need to do this to save Arya, right? It's partly my fault she's in this situation. But if my life is really going to change because of this, promise me one thing. Happiness and fear, by the way? What is it? Take responsibility for what you're about to do. Of course. I was always going to do that, regardless of what happened. Good. Are you two done flirting with each other? If you have nothing else to say, stop wasting all of our time. Aster. I know who Celeste's father is. Wait, really? What? No, you're bluffing. You have to be. Why don't we test that theory, then? You said that no one could contest your rule of Wyvern Guard aside from the Scaled Lord. But there's one more person, isn't there? What are you talking about? Only the Scaled Lord has the political power to override the will of the king. And his kin, Lucio. Yes, I suppose that's... Aster to Wyvern Guard, you needed Celeste to die during the massacre. It's because her existence would always pose a threat to your rule. Are you serious? People of the Wyvern Guard nobility, your current king was fearful of my bodyguard's parentage, and now we know why. Celeste McCoy is the daughter of the Scaled Lord Rathalion, ancient dragon, and creator of all arcane magic. Judging from your reaction, I'm right, aren't I? I'm half dragon. Well, I'm apparently part angel, so you're in good company. So that demon was speaking the truth. Aster to Wyvern Guard. As the Scaled Lord's kin, Celeste has the authority to pass judgment on you and override your rule. And when you're gone, she will take your place as the ruler of Wyvern Guard. Miss McCoy, think about this. Can you even begin to grasp what it takes to lead a nation, much less this broken one? You'll find this crown no less binding than any blood contract. Just tell me one thing, Aster. Why did you do this to Arya? She trusted you. She loved you. You could have changed Wyvern Guard together with her. And you could have done it all without having to do any of this. Is that what what you really think? I suppose you would. You probably also think Tyrion is the first person to try to change this nation, while still working within its laws. There's nothing wrong with having ideals and working within the law. My father was like that too. He was a man of ideals, once. But I watched for my whole life as he was forced to compromise on everything he believed in, one ideal after another. It was to keep the peace. We must maintain the stability between the noble houses to uphold law and order. And do you know who paid the price every time? Not him, not me, not any of the nobles gathered here. No, the people who paid the price were the common folk. The kind of people you two are always trying to save. I would have honestly thought you'd understand by now. A gulf exists between what is just and what is lawful in this kingdom. I'd have thought that you two, out of everyone, could have understood why I did this. We know it's not fair, but we're capable of changing it, and you had the power to do just that. I am changing it. You worked so hard to find the truth behind Von Sanctus and Sybil's murders. But here's a little bit of truth that's evident to everyone in this room except you two. Half of the people present here today are glad that they're gone, and the other half wants to be the ones to replace them. The blood I shed in a single hour did more good for this kingdom than you two would have done in years. So that's how you plan on fixing this country's problems? By working with demons and killing your way to a brighter future? If I have to, why not? Every day across this nation, commoners are killed and oppressed at the hands of the very nobles gathered here. They bleed this country dry and feed on its people like carrion. I am merely returning a much-needed sense of equality. Do you really think any of you are in a position to judge me? All of you, who came running at the news of my father's death. All so you could be the first to fill my ears with your sycophantic phrases. Do you know what the difference between the Empress of Discord and all of you is? That demon was just a bit more honest. Arya wanted to change that. She would have helped you. Arya's too stupid and too naive to do anything. She loved you. How could you? She loved her idea of me. She loved a weak and ineffectual prince who would have borne watching his kingdom rot with a damn smile. She loved your kindness, Aster. This is kindness. The blood I will spill will be the greatest kindness this kingdom has ever known. And once I am done, Wyverngard will be better and stronger for it. Aster, McCoy, I don't care what you are. The Scaled Lord's daughter, the rightful heir, none of that matters to me. I will save my kingdom and its people, and I will carve the rot out of its heart, piece by bloody piece. Nothing will stand in my way. I am Aster Wyverngard, King of Wyverngard, and consort to the Lord of the Sixth. I am nothing but a dead man. Volnus. Lucio. What? No! Lucio, what have you done? The blood contract, Cuthbert. What? My daughter's blood contract. Does it still exist? You check your satchel, and sure enough, Arya's blood contract is completely disintegrated. Its conditions have been fulfilled, haven't they? Because they no longer both live. Excellent. Lucio, this is not what we discussed. My daughter would never be free as long as that wretch lived. McCoy agreed to take his place. This was always how it was going to end. Lucio, you can't seriously expect to. Save your breath, Cuthbert. I already know. Kingsguard, what are you standing around for? The Grand General has just committed regicide. Arrest him at once. I suppose that's that, then. But this isn't really something to celebrate. I'm compelled to agree. To think that His Majesty was so far gone that he consort with a demon. Also, he could save the common folk. Regardless of his actions, he did have the same goals as you. He truly wanted to make things better for the common folk. Even with the Eye of Horus, you never caught a hint of the pain he must have been feeling. He closely guarded his emotions from everyone, including Arya. No wonder Ears was able to manipulate him. You of all people know how exactly... that's another typo there. You of all people know exactly how easily she can exploit someone's emotions. Nevertheless, it's apparent that there's no need to continue this trial, although it's clear our work is only just beginning. Sadness. Court is adjourned for the time being. You are all free to return to your homes. However, I'm sure there's still much for each of us to discuss. Many things have changed here today, and I'm sure many of us will need to make arrangements to adapt. Until then, please refrain from discussing the events of today outside of these halls. This goes without saying, but we must keep today's events a secret from the public, at least for now. You all exit the Scale Lord's lair. Considering everything that's happened, this should feel like a victory. Arya was saved, Iris was vanquished, temporarily at least, and the patron no longer lives. Hey. Hi. We won, didn't we? So why does this feel so... Yeah, I feel the same way. He was a terrible person. He killed people. He tried to kill us, and he used Arya like a puppet. But I really wish we could have changed his mind. Yeah. Sometimes people are beyond saving. And I think he made up his mind a long time ago. He knew what he was doing to Arya. And I can't think of any other way we could have truly freed her. I know. I just hope she's... Hello, I'm glad I found you before you left. You freeze up when you look at her. More specifically, you're a little disturbed by what the Eye of Horus is showing you. Oh, Arya. I'm so sorry, Why are you apologizing? What? If it's about your testimony, I'm afraid I will need to charge you with perjury. Right. Wait, seriously? Come on, I'm basically your boss now. No one is above the law. That was made apparent when... She suddenly stops talking before she mentions his name. She doesn't trail off. Her voice doesn't even break. She simply stops, as if she were a machine that ceased functioning. Arya? Anyways, I'm sure it's nothing to worry about. You do have a talented defense counsel, after all. Right. You really want to say something back, but you're too off-put to say anything. Anyways, I wanted to thank you for the work you've done, Mr. Cuthbert. I truly mean it when I say you have my gratitude. Yeah, of course. Anyways, I have much work to get done now that the Grand General is in custody. I'll be taking my leave. Yeah. What was that all about? Why didn't you say anything to her? I didn't see anything through the eye. She must be subconsciously guarding her emotions. I guess I don't really blame her. No, Celeste, I didn't see anything. What? I looked at her with the eye. She wasn't holding anything back. And even with that, I saw nothing. There was no anger, no sadness, no fear, no joy. I've used the eye to see the emotion of a countless amount of people, but I've never seen that before. It was like I was looking at a machine. But you're right, I should have said something. I'm going to... As you're about to chase after her, Celeste stops you. Do you mind if I talk to her? What? Are you sure? Yeah, we actually hang out a lot outside of the trials. I think she might respond better to me. You remember the comforting feeling of her hand in yours. Alright, I suppose I'll let you handle it. Once again, you remember the comforting feeling of her hand in yours. Just, you know, keep it verbal. What? Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. Just go. Alright, you weirdo. It looks like you've gotten the acquittal of yet another client, but it didn't tie up quite so neatly as you'd hoped. What do you mean she's gone? She was just here. I'm sorry, Your Grace? You may not know what the future has in store for the two of you, but perhaps that's okay. You have a feeling that as long as you have her, no, as long as you have everyone, you can begin forging your own path. A path that is completely chosen by you at this time. Damn it, Arya, where are you? Oh, hello? My apologies. I didn't mean to frighten you. No, it's fine. You're looking for Miss Steelwind, aren't you? Yeah, how'd you know? She's been sitting outside my lair for a while. I tried speaking to her, but... Yeah, I get it. I'm going to try talking to her. Of course. Rathalion? Yes? I'm not mad at you, you know? What? I'm not sure why you left me at the McCoy Tavern, but because of that, I got to be raised by my mom and dad. And if I didn't live there, I would have never met Tyrion or Arya. And I could never be mad about you giving me a life like that. Plus, now I know that I'm half dragon. That's pretty cool, isn't it? Miss McCoy. Don't be so formal, I'm technically your daughter, aren't I? Right, Celeste? So, I've been meaning to ask. About you and Mr. Cuthbert, are you two... Oh wow, look at how late it is. I'd better go talk to Arya right now. I'll see you later, Scaled Dad. Scaled. Just bye. She called herself my daughter. I suppose I understand how you feel now, Lucio. Hey, Arya? Celeste, what are you doing here? Just making sure you're doing okay. You are doing okay, right? I am. There's no need to worry about me. You're looking up at the sky. Are you stargazing? I was looking at the moon. It's full tonight. Do you mind if I watch it with you? Do what you want. I technically take orders from you now. You know, it was also full moon outside on the night my parents found me in their inn. That's why they named me Celeste. It's the word for heavenly bodies in the Draconic language. Is that so? Yeah, they told me that they thought I was a gift from the Scaled Lord. In a roundabout way, they were actually kinda right. It's a little funny when you think about it. By the way, I never got to thank you for sticking up for me before. What? Remember, you jumped onto the stand when Tyrion manifested my blood contract. Not that I blame him, but I don't think even he believed me at that point. If you'd never done that, who knows how this could have ended up. I really appreciate you doing that. You're a really good person, Arya. I was merely doing what I thought was right. Yeah, I guess that's what you've always done. You're not really going to charge me with perjury, are you? Of course I am. I was serious about that. Damn it. But we do require your help to hold the structure of our kingdom together. We won't sentence you to prison, but I might have you do some community service. Fine, I guess I can live with that. My father told me I was being too lenient. But I can understand the position you were put in. We all do stupid things for love, after all. Stupid. Arya? How could I be so stupid? Hey, you're not. I am a complete and utter fool. I knew about blood contracts after what happened to Beatrice. I'm an attorney for Lord's sake. I've read countless legal documents. And when I signed that contract, I knew something was wrong. But I was just so stupidly happy. That's not fair. No one could have expected him to do something like that. Not my father. He's going to pay for my stupid mistakes. I'm sorry. Celeste, why did I trust him so much? He used me like a puppet. With my hands and my magic, he made me. I'm sorry, Arya. What he did to you is horrible, and I don't know how to make it better. But you're not alone, okay? It's not just me. Tyrion, your father, we're all here for you. So please don't shut off your emotions from us. Thank you. Celeste, I think I made a decision. What's that? I'm going to drop the charges of perjury against you. Wait, are we still on that? Mr. Cuthbert, I've spoken with my associates in the press. The story we created should be printed as we speak. I don't like this. We're lying to the people of Wyverngard about what really happened. Not to mention, this story paints me like I'm some kind of god. I understand your reservations, but Aster was right about how the common folk felt about him. If we told the people what actually happened, they would never believe it. They'd think that his death was a part of some sort of political conspiracy. And even with this cover story, we can't be certain that they still won't suspect that. Arya? Shouldn't you be resting? Nonsense, I'm not going to sit around feeling sorry for myself while everyone else fixes my mistakes. As she said. She may be hiding her pain behind a smile, but she's not shutting down her emotions like before. Was Celeste able to get through to her? But she did not keep it verbal, just saying. As much as it pains me, we should strive to carry forth the virtues that Aster represented to the common folk. Wyvern will gain more from those false virtues than from the person that he truly was. The stability of our nation must be maintained to move forward. And if we must use the people's piety against them, then so be it. Arya. And as the newly appointed head of House Steelwind, I will also do my part to support your rule. As will the Scaled Lord. Celeste smiles in gratitude at their words, but she slyly glances at you expectantly. That shouldn't be there. Do you even have to ask? I made a promise to you, didn't I? And you can see she's ecstatic. And it's not just us. I'll do my best to make sure that the rest of Wyvern supports you too. Oh yeah, since you two patch things up, you can also ask for Ruby's help. Right, I forgot that I was supposed to meet with her this morning. I'll need to apologize to her about that. Wait, have you still not told her about what happened yet? We've had more important things to worry about. I'm sure that she'll understand. Tyrion, the last time you saw her, you manifested a blood contract without explaining anything. Then you vaguely said something about helping Arya. Don't worry, I'll explain everything to her once things quiet down. Tyrion, that story we fabricated is being printed right now. Everyone in Wyvern is going to read about it in the paper, including her. Oh. What's all this noise about? What? Have you been living under a rock, lady? Read the morning paper. The Scaled Lord has returned. What? Demonic attack claims lives of prominent figures. Chaos broke out yesterday during the private wedding between Arya Steelwind and Crown Prince Aster to Wyvern. In a surprise attack orchestrated by a malevolent demon, a devastating loss was inflicted upon our kingdom, shattering the very foundations of our power and stability. The carnage left in the wake of the abyssal assault was nothing short of catastrophic. Among the fallen were Lady Coraline Sybil, Lord Lloyd Von Sanctus, and Lord Lucio Steelwind. Both King Olivier and Crown Prince Aster made heroic attempt to repel the fall monster. And while the profane demon was felled and defeated, the king and the crown prince tragically lost their lives in the ensuing battle. However, amidst the chaos and despair, a glimmer of hope emerged to prevent the kingdom from descending into further disarray. The Scaled Lord himself descended from the heavens, restoring order and making a profound proclamation. In a selfless act to maintain the integrity and unity of Wyvern, the Scaled Lord anointed his holy daughter as the new Queen of Wyvern. What? Again with this Scaled Lord nonsense? This reeks of a violent political coup. Whoever this new queen is, I bet she's just another rotten noble. Says there's a picture of her on the next page. Why is it now on the front page? Wait, what the... And then I think you heard the sound effect of the achievement popping. After hearing about what happened to my former lord, I've thought a lot about my actions. I won't ask you to forgive me, Your Majesty, but I want to continue to atone for all the harm I've caused. I will continue my studies in the field of conjuration. With the kingdom in such disarray, it falls on people like me to maintain order. Why are you looking at me like that? We'd never be able to do this if it weren't for your investment in our cafe. I feel partially responsible for what happened at the Imperial Academy. I'd like to make amends however I can. Don't worry about that. Business has been booming ever since we set up shop in Rathel. But more customers just means more work for me. I've been developing my necromancy ever since I began working under Lord Asclepius. I think I've grown quite good at it. Don't get ahead of yourself, you've grown competent at it. That was a joke. You're probably the best necromancer I know. Aside from me, of course. I'm sorry, but I still can't remember anything. But from what I've read in my record, perhaps that's a good thing. Even if your memories are gone, your crimes can't be changed. You still have to serve your sentence, but I do hope you can live out the rest of your life in peace. What are you looking at, punk? Wait. Oh no, it's you. That crazy chick isn't with you, is she? Why are you looking behind me, man? Did you just call me crazy? Oh lord, run for it, Gavin! Good to see you, Mr. Cuthbert. From what I hear, you've certainly moved up in the world. Yeah, a lot has happened. I don't even know where to begin. I'm glad to see the refinery is doing well. Well, I suppose I have you to thank for that. You're quite the, what did Her Majesty call you? An angel investor. Yes, that's it. Actually, I'm actually here on behalf of Her Majesty. We both had an idea for a business venture, and we think it would set a good precedent if we employed a company with your business practices. Oh, I think I like the sound of that. So yeah, they need to eliminate one of those actuallys in that previous statement. This is all auto-advancing if you couldn't tell, so that's why I can't stop it. I'm just reading it as it goes. I still have much to learn about leading a noble house, but I hope I can bring House Freyga and Wyverngar to a brighter future. I think it's about time we ended the constant feuding between the Steelwinds and the Freygas. And I'd like for us to work together. I may not know much, but that certainly sounds like a step in the right direction. Tracker will do best to help Queen. I appreciate the gesture, but I don't think... Banks need gold, right? Tracker can dig for gold. Oh, there's a plan. So keep in mind these two only had like a couple lines. And that makes checkmate, Cuthbert. What? Did you just lose? No, I demand a rematch. Learn to lose with dignity, for Lord's sake. I'm glad I let him keep those armbands. And that should wrap up the vote. Oh no, there's his too. But I think that's it. To think the Scaled Lord would sacrifice his daughter for the good of our kingdom. Theon, I want this job. Such humility, such self-sacrifice. I'm literally a queen. Who would want this mantle? Actually, this job is kind of annoying. Sorry. Eh, as long as I have you with me, I'm happy. You may have everyone else fooled, but I know how the story goes. A mage is still a mage, and a noble is still a noble. Come on, don't be like that. Hey, if you want to prove me wrong, by all means. I ain't holding my breath. I suppose you have every reason not to trust those in power. But we are going to fix this kingdom, and we're going to do it within the confines of the law. really wish he would talk to us. He needs time to process everything that happened. And I don't think he'll be very receptive to us. At least, not right now. We should probably hire a therapist. Yeah, the music doesn't really go well with how that scene... with the tone of that scene. So in case you're wondering, no, I am not in the crowdfunder list. Are you okay? Yes, I really appreciate you coming here with me. His actions were absolutely deplorable. I was hoping coming here would give me closure, but with Von Sanctus and Sybil gone, we have had a much easier time preparing our kingdom. I feel uneasy about all this. No, I also see what you mean. He may have had good intentions, but he refused to let anyone work with him. Even with Iris, they were just using each other. I do think he really wanted to change Wyverngard, but he would only do it on his own terms. Even if he did end up achieving his goals, the legacy he'd leave behind would be one of blood. No lasting peace or justice could have that at its foundation. That's surprisingly mature for you. Hey, I'm always mature. Goodbye, Master. So I never actually looked up to see how much the game made or anything like that. Are you kidding me, Ruby? What kind of ridiculous case was that? Weren't you the one who called a monkey to the stand during Beatrice's trial? Yeah, I suppose you have a point. Anyways, truth is often stranger than fiction. You should know that better than anyone. Oh my god, I just realized... Is this what I've been doing to Arya? Hey, you're the one who wanted to be lead prosecutor. I'm only filling in for her until we can find a qualified replacement. Well, if you ever get bored of life as a royal, there's always a spot open in my office. I see they allowed you to keep your axe. I thought I asked you to stop visiting me. You did. I merely chose to ignore you. Mikoi's impertinence is rubbing off on you. I'll take that as a compliment. I am glad to see you in such good spirits. It's clear that I underestimated you. I'm surprised you're not sentencing me to death. I suppose I should be grateful. Yeah, we kinda need you alive so we know when yours is back. You're using me like a canary in a coal mine? I'm almost proud of you two. Although I am curious as to why she hasn't returned yet. What the hell is this? Why are you preventing me from leaving? Well, I can't very well let you make a fool of yourself a second time. You are not to leave the Sixth Circle until I tell you otherwise. So says the word of Asmodeus. Are you grounding me? If you want to behave like a petulant child, I'll treat you like one. I swear, when I get out of here... What if I told you about speaking in future tense? Very, very dangerous for people who cannot tell lies, if you don't know. If they make a commitment, then they have to follow through on it. Are you sure you don't want to move into the castle with us, Mom? No, I've grown attached to this place. It was your father's, and it doesn't seem right to abandon it. Yeah, I get what you mean. Anyways, I want to give you two some privacy. Mom. So stop dragging your feet, Tyrion. I want to live to see my grandkids. Mom. So, I was wondering, you've lived for a really long time, right? I have. Do I have any siblings? No, I'm sorry, there was one many centuries ago, but I lost her. It was rare, even across the centuries, when I've sought companionship. Dragons are magical beings, and the creation of offspring is rare. So much so that it's a miracle that you were born. I'm sorry, but you are alone. I don't really feel that way. I think I spent so much time with Arya that she's basically my sister. And Tyrion, well... perhaps I should have some words with Mr. Cuthbert. Don't you dare. So we meet again, Crimson Demon. Who keeps telling people about that nickname? Who knows? It could have been anyone. Tyrion? You don't like it? I can help you come up with a new one. I'm good, thanks. How about Scaled Empress? Okay, I actually really like that. Ahoy, Cuthbert. I have everything ready for tonight. What? It's nothing. Pretend like you don't know anything. What? Oh, I see. So it's for her. What are you doing? It's a surprise. Alright, you weirdo. It's starting to become a catchphrase for her. So if you remember, Aster's boat disappeared in the 3rd chapter, but they never really addressed that. That might be where it comes into play right here. Hey, why'd you bring me out here? You're not usually this secretive. Come on, it's a surprise. Wait, is that a boat? Are you going to be okay? I thought you were really prone to motion sickness. Don't worry, I've done this plenty of times before. Alright, if you say so. Tyrion, it's really dark. Are you sure this is safe? Yeah. There'll be plenty of light soon. Soon? In about 3, 2, 1. Wow. Right on schedule. You knew this would happen. During certain times of the year, the ley lines around Ornax become extremely potent. A lot of the businesses here take advantage of this to charge the arcane power cells in their homes. And those effects are amplified when they do it simultaneously. This is what happens when they synchronize with each other. It lights up the entire city. When I tried to stop it, cut off her line right there. You're such a nerd. But it's beautiful, right? Yeah, it is. You can see she's ecstatic. My mom used to bring me out here before everything happened. You're the only other person I've ever shown this to. Oh. I've really missed being able to spend time with you like this. Yeah, me too. It was so much simpler when you were just an attorney and I was your bodyguard. But now I'm the Scaled Lord's daughter and you're the lead prosecutor. We barely get to see each other. But at least we're together now. And you have something to remember whenever we're apart. Yeah. This is so sweet. I love him so much. So why is she afraid? What? Your thoughts are leaking, Celeste. What do you... It's been so long, I forgot to... Is something wrong? She's always had a habit of teasing you, so you can't help but enjoy putting her on the other end for once. I didn't really mean... Wait, no! I did mean it, but... I know this is a really rude thing to say, but I kind of hate the Eye of Horror sometimes. I love you too, Celeste. Oh, okay. You try to inch closer to her, but she's trying her hardest to avoid eye contact with you. But there is one way to make her meet your gaze. Tyrion, Do you not want this? Of course I do. I think I've wanted this for a long time. I always find myself smiling like an idiot whenever we're together. I don't think I've ever felt this happy before. Your face inches... Oh, your faces inch closer to each other. You two may never be able to go back to your old lives, but moments like this make everything worth it. You'll always keep your promise, right? No matter what happens, no matter where each of us goes, we'll go there together. Good. Sorry, this is all a little too much. I'm feeling a little lightheaded. Take all the time you need. Right now, we have all the time in the world. Have you heard about what happened in Wyverngard? Is that why you called me here? This could have been in an email, Arch-Sentinel. This is serious. How did we not know about this Tyrion Cuthbert? Keeping records of the Heavensborn is Lumina's responsibility, High Inquisitor. Frey Cuthbert was always a slippery one. Even you couldn't track her. And he's just one Heavensborn. Ilya, he brought the Lord of the Six to the court of Bloody Azathoth. Do you have any idea the amount of damage they could have done to the multiverse there? You're worrying too much. We're still here, aren't we? The multiverse is intact and everything is fine. Ilya, he has the Eye of Odin. What? I checked the data my drones collected. These readings, they are exactly the same as the ones we gathered during our experiment with Frey. He awakened its power, albeit briefly. And he did it in front of the Lord of the Sixth. We must assume that the Lord of the Ninth knows about it as well. Come on, that's not possible. Even you said it was impossible to manifest Odin's power on the mortal plane. The Lord of the Ninth has begun moving his forces. He knows, Ilya. You know better than anyone else. Nothing is impossible when the House of Horus is involved. Alright, you win. I'll look into this. Exercise discretion if they ever find out about what we did with Frey. I know, it could mean war with Wyverngard. Ilya, it could mean war with the entire Outer Planes. And there you go. So it looks like in the sequel we'll probably be doing things on the prosecutor side, which is going to be a little refreshing because they didn't really do too much with the Edgeworth games for the Ace Attorney stuff. I know the second one never came west. I don't know about the first one because I've mentioned before my experience with Phoenix Wright was I did the original trilogy and I just couldn't stand Apollo, so that's kind of where my Gyakutan Saibon experience ended. I know that they're putting the Apollo games on Switch, it's just I didn't really like the idea of having to comb over the sprites looking for tells and crap like that, and I don't know if they changed anything for the 5th or 6th games. But yeah, overall, I kind of enjoyed this. It wasn't too bad. I thought it was going to be a little on the strange side, but it did have its little lighthearted moments. It didn't really have as many of the quirky moments as Phoenix Wright is known for, and as far as I noticed, I think Iris was the only one who actually had a name that was, like a clue to things. Like, you could make a case Celeste with her star name may have had a bit of a hint to the dragon stuff, but, and to be honest, the name Tyrion, I was thinking of Tyr from Norse mythology in that, and they mentioned Odin at the very end, so I don't know if something's gonna happen to Tyrion's hand, or what exactly the future holds. So yeah, depending on where, when, and a couple other things. Maybe we can cover the sequel when this finally comes out. I don't even know if they've actually announced anything because the game is still a fairly new release, and if you're interested in it, by all means pick it up and enjoy the journey for yourself. To be completely honest with you, my biggest hang-up on Phoenix Wright was with some of the translation stuff, and I don't mean this in a bad way, it's just there are character limits and other restricting factors, and they have to try to translate important things in there without losing its meaning. Like, you have to translate the contradiction in a way that it'll fit within the allotted space in the context that makes sense, and still have all of the triggers function and be recognizable. And basically what I'm getting at is to have something like this where it's English first language, they have a lot more tools at their disposal, and as a result, I think they may be able to edge out a bit of an advantage going forward, just with some of the stuff they do. Going forward, something that I would hope to see more of are more CGs, because we only got to see special stuff for the third case, where Tyrion and Celeste wake up, and then here at the finale. It would be kind of neat if there were more CGs throughout the game, if maybe something involving the twist in the courtroom, something with, I don't really want to say, like, with the grand reveal, because that would be a spoiler if I decide to use that for a thumbnail, but maybe if there's a certain piece of evidence or something that's revealed that gets a CG with it or something, that would be something I kind of hope for. But yeah, otherwise, I am out of here. I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.